Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin. We're back at the movies for another review. Little change to the channel. Normally, my videos drop on Saturdays, but after, talking and careful consideration, gonna be moving them to Thursdays. This gives you guys an opportunity to watch them, not necessarily during the busy weekends. We got July 4th coming up. My 1-year anniversary is on Monday, July 4th. I might drop a video then. I might wait till next Thursday to do it. But, yeah, we're gonna, the format changes today. We're going to Thursdays. Hopefully, we can stay on that schedule. Until then, first review in the new schedule is actually going to be an underrated movie review. It's baseball season. We're in the dog days of summer for baseball. We're about halfway through. What better way than to do an underrated review of a movie that I think holds up well over 28 years later. The 1994 Disney, I can't say classic, but highly entertaining Angels in the Outfield. So I was very surprised when I was doing a little bit of research trying to decide, okay, which movie am I going to do? And didn't necessarily turn out to be that I was looking for an underrated movie, but once I saw that this only has a score of like 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, I was like, well, I found my movie for sure. 33% for a movie that I think holds up extraordinarily well. I can't remember too much about this when I was younger. I know I saw it. I'm sure I rented it at a video store or something. But lately I've been watching clips of it, and it is really good. Let's start off with, well, maybe not necessarily really good, but a lot of really valuable life lessons that you can learn from this movie, and the cast is phenomenal. Let's start with Danny Glover, who this was, at this point, he was, still one of the top guys. I mean, he had done the Die Hard series. I think all three had come out by this point. Well, the first three had come out by this point. Predator 2, which, this is also an underrated movie. He had a well-established career. Tony Danza, who was still really in the prime of his career. Christopher Lloyd, who is hilarious. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Adrian Brody. Matthew McConaughey. Dermot Mulroney. And Neil McDonough. All have had fantastic careers. Neil McDonough's one of those sneaky, underrated, been in a lot of really entertaining things. It's just such a fantastic cast. And, like I said, there's a lot of life lessons in this. You got Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a foster child. He's living in a short-term foster home. And, he just wants his dad. He wants his family. And, he makes a wish. And, the only way, his dad makes a comment to him while they're in court is the only way they'll ever get back together as a family is if the Angels win the pennant. And they're the worst team in baseball. They've lost something like 15 games in a row. Danny Glover is their coach, manager, and it's a bad situation. You got a bunch of guys on the team that don't want to win, can't win, don't know how to win. And he's not a good coach. He's burnt out. But the wish that Joseph Gordon-Levitt makes upon a shooting star comes true. Real life Angels, led by Christopher Lloyd, come and they make this team a winning baseball club. And yes, it's silly, but like I said, the life lessons this movie has, always, all these guys, once they start winning, they start believing in themselves. And the Angels don't have to help them every single game. You know, there's plays where even Danny Glover's like who starts to form this bond with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Well, this had to have been an Angel, and he's like, no, this was them. They are learning to play together, learning to win together, and they're having fun. And that's what baseball is supposed to be. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. And, you know, I think critics don't get that. You know, I as I usually do with an underrated review, I found a couple of reviews. This is what they say. By the time the last out is called, the movie's shamelessness far outweighs its charms. Aimed at the minors, it's Bush League all its own. It's just that's somebody who clearly doesn't get that this movie, it's about teaching life lessons. You know, eventually Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's still a kid, learns that Tony Danza, who has smoked for years, is going to die. You know, he's learning life lessons. Shouldn't smoke, and eventually people die. Like this guy or woman, I can't remember who wrote it, and I don't usually say who writes the reviews that I read anyways, is clearly missing the valuable lessons that this movie is teaching. And then lastly, terrible fantasy, full of depressing things like orphans and death. No amount of Angels can uplift that. Again, same thing. This movie is teaching you life lessons. Is it cheesy? Yes. But it's entertaining, and it's a good movie for kids. Like I wouldn't recommend it for young kids, but you know, 10 years old and over, this is where you can teach them valuable life lessons about sports, about, you know, just life in general, and where they'll start getting it. And that's what makes this movie, you know, an underrated movie in my opinion. Is it a great movie? No. You know, it's right there. It's like an okay to, you know, maybe a good movie. And because of that, I'm gonna give it a flat, and I don't usually give flat scores, a 7.0. It's right there. It's better than okay, not quite a good movie. 7.0. That's my review. 1994 Angels in the Outfield. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Thank you for the 1-year journey we've been on together. And I will see you guys next time at the movies. Take care.